Ladies and gentlemen, I am back with another YouTube video. This is Nathan from Tartan Strings. This video is going to be the sidewall pattern for the Maverik Kinetik 2.0. I'm just going to get straight into it. Make your knot, okay? We're going to put on the third sidewall hole. We're going to put the string in through the outside. All right. Up through the first row of the 10 diamond mesh hole. That's what you want to call it. That's what we're going to call it. Okay, and then we're just going to loop it around back through the outside. Okay, if you can see that. Pull that tight. And that's always the first key to do, or else it's not gonna stay. I mean, it might stay, but that little loop right there is always to confirm that it's gonna stay right where it should be. And also so the knot doesn't come out the side. All right, so now we're gonna do what's called an SI. We're gonna go down through the next 10 diamond row. Okay, so something like that. Okay, and I'm using the ECD Hero 3.0 mesh, and it's the USA colorway. I actually really love this colorway. And we're going to skip 2 holes, okay? So not the 4th, not the 5th, but we're coming down to the 6th one right here. All right, since we've already gone through down the mesh, and go through the outside of that hole, okay? Sidewall. And then when you pull it through, it's gonna make like, that's how it's gonna be before the loop starts. Okay, so when you go up through the mesh, it should, it's not cooperating here, but, so when you pull it through, I even messed it up. I'm gonna go through the outside, I'm gonna go up. Make sure, you could even pull this string out a little bit. Make sure when you put the string in through the side, make sure it goes in between the rest of the string and the head, okay? Go up through the mesh. That's gonna interlock that right there, okay? We're gonna do that again. We're gonna skip 1 sidewall hole, come down to this one right here. Got it? I'm gonna go straight down through the mesh. We're gonna go through the outside of the sidewall hole. And then we're gonna go in through the mesh again. So when you pull it, it's gonna come down just like that. Tie it tight, seriously. We're gonna do that again. See this pattern? It's pretty much all SIs, and then we'll do like 2 1SIs. I honestly really like the 1SIs. I feel like all of this pretty much performs a nice pocket. Just looks really good, you know? You just can't go wrong with it. But we're also gonna skip another sidewall hole. We're gonna come down to this one right here. Okay, so we're skipping 1, coming down to the next one. We went down through the mesh again, okay? Coming back through the outside of the sidewall, and then up through the mesh again. All right. So as you can see, the channel is starting to form. And that's where you get the consistent flow of the ball, so it's not going every which way. When you have the nice channel, the ball goes right to where you want it to every time, most accurately. So this time we're going to do an SI, but we're not going to skip any sidewall holes. We're just going to come right down to the next one. So since we are on the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th mesh diamond, we just went down through it, right there, right here. Going through the next sidewall hole, coming back through the mesh again. So when you go through it, make sure, again, that loop, that second loop, I should say the inside loop, goes in between the string and the mesh, and also the head if you'd like to reference that. So when you're done with that, it's just going to look like that. It should all look the same. It should look the same every time, or else you did something wrong. So you have the string coming right here, and then it's going to come back down again. There's no strings looping anywhere else. It's just straight up. It's like it should look almost parallel. If you extended this line past this one, that's what it should look like, straight down. I'm trying to figure out new ways to explain it better because people make stringing harder than it actually is. Make it seems harder than it actually is. But it's not. If you just keep doing it, what I did when I started out, I was like 12 years old. I started stringing. I started watching Greg on YouTube. Instantly string up a head, unstring it, restring it again. You just got to keep doing that because that's how you're going to get the practice. Like if you don't have enough money to go buy a new head every time to string it, nah. Unstring your gamer. See what works best for you. Say you go into practice and you're like, it's working, but it's not going right to where I want it to. You know, maybe I'm throwing low today. Okay, fix up the pattern, make it shift lower a bit, or shift it back up high, depending on where you place the bunch of the strings. The mesh diamond, I should say. Because when we finish the patterns you see on this side, it's going to bunch up like right here. So this is where the ball is going to sit most of the time. It's going to click under that shooting string right here, wherever you place them, when it comes out. And then when you're cradling it one-handed, it's going to come down here. So this is right where the ball is going to sit because we bunched up the mesh the most right here. If I did a pattern and bunched up the mesh right up here, the pocket would sit up here all the time. But I kind of wanted to go for a more shiftier, almost baggy pocket to this. But you could play around with it, obviously. This is just another option for a pattern that you guys could do at home, and you guys could figure out a new way to do this for yourself. And I think this pocket is great. You put 2 shooters in it, 3 shooters, whatever. It's going to be smooth as ever. I'm serious about this. Again, this is just going to be a great pattern for anyone. The next step, we're going to skip another sidewall hole. We're going to do a 1 SI. So what we're going to do is go through the next mesh diamond. Okay. I went down it just like we did every other time. Then we're going to go back down the next one. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do 6 and 7. These are the 6 and 7 out of the 10 that I usually like to use for mesh diamonds down the side. So, I mean, I can do that again. I can show you that again. So if this is 7 and this is 8. Down 7, down 8. And then we're going to skip 1 sidewall hole, come out through through the outside, okay, in. And just like all the other SIs, make sure when you come through the mesh, it's between the rest of the string and the head so that it stays locked in there. Okay, every time. You got to make sure it's like that or else it's not going to work. We're going to do that one more time. We're also going to skip another sidewall hole, okay? Go down through 8. Yep. Go down through 9. Mesh. Through the outside. Okay, see, I could have gone through the mesh, but that's what it should look like right there. When you can obviously put it through the mesh. So then when you pull it, it's going to look like that. 1 SI, 1 SI. The loop should look like that, okay? And then we're going to skip 1 sidewall hole, go down through the last mesh diamond. This is the 10th one right here. Okay, we're gonna go down through it. Okay, down through the back of the mesh, through the outside of the sidewall. And for this pattern, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th last sidewall hole. And if your pattern isn't looking like that, you did something wrong. However, even if you did it wrong a little bit, it wouldn't matter that much. But this is my placement that I chose to do. And to finish this off, the pocket's pretty much done. To finish this off, you go through the second to last sidewall hole through the inside of the mesh. Or I'm sorry, inside of the hole, the head. Don't go through any mesh here. See that right there? Pull that through as tight as you can. And I like to do a little loop off at the end. Same hole. Go through the same hole. It'll fit. Tie it off. So, over time, and as the more that you figure this out, you could do top string. You could do both sidewall holes, the bottom string, and the shooting strings in like 20, 25 minutes. That's what I pump these out in. But that's because I've been doing it for 8, 9 years. It's been a while. It's been a long time, but that's the head. Okay. That's the pocket. Nice and shifty, you know. It's a little baggy. This is a little deep too. You might have to pull the shooting bottom string down more. See how that, like if I kept pulling it, makes the pocket shallow. But that's going to be borderline pretty much right where the ball is going to come out to. So, you know, play around with it. It's all learning. As much as you could either pay someone like me to do it for you, or, learn to do it yourself. Understand hold better, understand whip, understand why the ball does what it does when it comes out the head when you string. That's the benefit to it. You understand the game more. That's what made me an overall better player, was I learned how to string, and I could understand why. If I was doing bad in a game, I wasn't shooting right, I could understand why before I even went to fix it. And then when I went to fix it, I was already better. You know, I was hitting the shots that I needed to hit, passing, making the passes that I need to make. So, again, you know, that's another pattern for you guys. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe, shoot me a like, shoot me a dislike if you did not like this. It is what it is. I'm going to try and get better at this. It's all, part of the learning curve. Just trying to make content for you guys because it is beneficial. It really does, there's never an end to how much potential I can bring, to you guys. But there's also not a shortage of this stuff on the internet. We could always use this, use a new pocket pattern. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. So I appreciate it, and have a good one.